Hi, this is Dale here from Midas. We've completely stripped the console apart, and now we're going to have a look at the power arrangement, which includes the mains power inlet, power supply 1 and 2, and the power distribution board. We won't actually take any of this apart, but we will take a deep dive in and look at what will need to be done if we ever need to get in there. So the most important thing in the interests of health and safety is we must ensure we have no power cables connected, and it's not even if they're connected and they're off, just remove them completely. We're dealing with live voltage at the back of here and we don't want any accidents, so please bear in mind there needs to be nothing connected. So the first thing we're going to do is remove this protective cover. It's a couple of T10 screws this end. Take those off. So with the screws out, this cover will lift over and it will actually come off because there is adhesive tape here along the sides. There's no need really to disturb this and make life complicated. You can, if you ever need to get in there, get a T10 screw in, but you might have to attach the screw to the driver and break the seal after. So we'll move that out of the way. So the first part of the chain is the mains inlet PCB, which is then splitting the voltage to power supply 1 and power supply 2 respectively. If we ever need to get to this board here, we'll take a look at the front. If we need to get to the mains inlet, we have to first start with these 4 screws. There'll be T10, all of those out. Then back from the inside, we have a mains power connector, and then there'll be one screw here by the looks of it holding this assembly in, and that module should then come out. So there would be one screw there to take out, 4 on the back, mains cables off, and then that PCB assembly should come out. However, if it gets compromised by these being in the way, you may have to move the power supply over, although changing this board would be particularly a rare occurrence. So they're back on. If we were going to take the power supply off, if we've got a faulty power supply, say it was power supply 1, there are 4 screws. So again, take the power inlet off. We'd unscrew these 4 here. We will have to unplug this cable here, and it would actually be easier because it would be very difficult to get a screwdriver at this right angle. In this case, we would need a T20 driver and unscrew from here, take these cables off with the power supply, then fit the yellow and black cables off the faulty power supply back onto the new one. I think it might be unlikely that a new power supply would come with the yellow and black cables, but if they didn't, that would be how you would do it. Reconnect the cables, position it back in, T20 driver to connect these back, obviously following that it's yellow and black in that order and not the wrong way around. Put your connector back in, and your mains inlet, and then your replacement will be ready to be used. The final stage is the power distribution board. Taking this apart will be relatively simple as well. As mentioned, T20 screws on these. You could leave these cables attached to the PSUs. Unplug these cables here, the blue ones. Put them under there for now. Remove the fan cable, which we can see goes to the back. And obviously with these we've got the mains cables or power distribution cables, yellow and black, which are obviously going into the console to distribute power to the surface PCBs. That one will only go in one position. This one, however, in this arrangement goes to the first connector next to this 6-way block, so you've got a 4-way block. Then this large connector here would come off. And then this Lumberg style cable here, you just push and it pulls off. Then it would simply be a case with a T10 driver to undo these 4 screws here. And that power distribution board would come out. So we'll put that back together now. Again, closest one to there. Main connector back on, Lumberg style cable here. Blue cables back in. And that is everything in the world of power supply, power distribution and mains inlet covered. So finally, and most importantly, we need to put this cover back on. This also obviously helps with airflow, but it's imperative that this is fitted for health and safety because the power supplies are exposed. It is easy to get a very nasty shock if you were silly enough to put cables in and didn't have this on, or something would fall into it. So we'll connect this back up and reattach with the tape. You must ensure that's fitted before you proceed with any reassembly.